what's the deal, everyone? Welcome to the Meal Change Podcast. This is episode number 43. Just a couple days before the New Year's, so hopefully you guys are getting your things in order as far as what you want to get accomplished in 2022. I know me personally, I already kind of wrote all my goals down, all my ambitions, what I want to get accomplished, what I'm looking to dive deeper into, some of the skills that I want to learn this year, and some of the things that's going to be important to me. So this particular episode, I want to talk about some things that, as you guys, if this is your first episode that you've ever listened to and everything like that, this is the Meal Change Podcast. I'm your host, D.Holley. Our motto for the podcast is to help millennial men build a better mindset. So in the future, they can really help the people that they need to help. They can create the structure that they need to structure. That sounds totally off, bro. But yeah, because every man needs structure in his life. If he doesn't have structure, if he doesn't have the thing that he really wants to go after, he tends to just wander in this world. So every man needs some type of thing that he's going towards, some type of accomplishment that he's looking to gain in his life. And if he doesn't have that in his life, then he's suffering. And it's up to you if you want to suffer or not. You only have one of these lives. It's like a Nintendo game. It's one and done. No continues or anything like that. No restarts either, you know. Okay, so the title of this episode is Become a Man or Die Trying. In 2022, you need to become a man or die trying. The reason why I say you need to become a man or die trying is because as a man, you don't have a choice. You have to go out and fight. You have to go after what you really want in life. You have to really say to yourself, is this what I really want, or am I settling? Now, I'm not saying that settling is the worst thing in the world, but at least if I'm going to settle for something, it's within the guidelines of what I've been trying to build. And settling isn't the worst thing, because a lot of times if you settle, it's something that you can improve on. So to me, settling is always something that's like, okay, if I settle here for a second, then I can reload, I can readjust, I can restructure my things to get better. Settling isn't the worst thing, so don't kill me for it or anything like that. But you need to become a man in 2022 or die trying. So I'm going to give you some things that's going to help you in 2022 as far as you becoming a better man. And if you're already on the lines of and you understand these things, then it's your responsibility to be pushing it to the next group of people, the next group of individuals that's going to come up behind you, because they're going to run into the same problem that you're running into. That's why learning is so important for men, because the skills that they learn, the things that they accomplish, the pitfalls that they ran into, they have to pass it on to the next generation. That's the whole purpose of having a man in the household, is because he can teach his son or his nephews or his cousins or any men that he come in contact with. He can teach them about some of the things that he ran into and some of the things that that particular man is going to run into in his life. Think about it. All right, so become a man or die trying, episode number 43. Number one thing I wrote down for 2022 that you need to help you become a better man, or the man that you're supposed to, is accountability. I've been talking about it for so many episodes. You need to be accountable. You need to be accountable for the good, the bad, and everything in between. You got to be accountable as a man. You can't run away from it. I tried to run away from it for years, man. But the common denominator in a lot of the things that I've been through as a man was me. So when I figured out that I couldn't keep holding other people's feet to the fire, I'm the one that's really was interacting with those people. I was the one that was putting myself in situations with those people. I understand that accountability now is the cornerstone to every man's life. You can't get around it. I wish you can, pay someone to help you with it or something like that, but you can't. You cannot get around accountability. You have to be accountable for everything you do. It's always your fault. It's always your fault. I wish it wasn't true, but it's always your fault as a man. because you're accountable. You're accountable for everything that's around you. So it's always your fault. So don't blame anyone else. It's always your fault. So just take the heat that comes with it. But the nice thing about it always being your fault as a man is when it's good, it's your fault too. When it's going real good, it's your fault too. It's all about you, you know? And so in 2022, as men, we have to be more accountable. We have to be more responsible. We have to understand that there's certain things that we just can't do as men. There's certain things that we can't align ourselves with as men. If you want to be a great man, you have to be accountable, and you can't be super duper emotional, and you can't be feminine, bro. And I hate to say it, and when I look back at myself and I look back at some of the behaviors that I had prior to the relationships with some women that I had, I realized that sometimes I was way too emotional, and I was giving them too much emotions in terms of what I was trying to do. You know, I wanted to treat them good. I wanted to make sure they stayed and make sure they was in my life. But I didn't understand that the more emotions that I was giving, the less masculine I was as a man. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be masculine and feminine. So you can't be masculine on Tuesday and then feminine on Wednesday. You have to consider that it's either a one-way street. Either you're going to be a real feminine man and super duper emotional all the time, or you're going to be a masculine man. You're going to take responsibility for everything. You're going to make sure that your family has the things that they need to have. You're going to make sure that they have the spiritual guidance that you're supposed to have as a man. So it starts with you and it ends with you. You can't get in a relationship with a woman and then think, yo, it's all her fault because she's doing something stupid. No, it's some flaw in you that allows her to do something stupid. Because if she had respect for you, she probably wouldn't be doing some of the things that she's doing. And y'all relationship probably wouldn't end. But that's another thing. You know, that's kind of personal. But, I mean, it's the truth, though. You know? So you have to be accountable in 2022 as a man to become a man. And remember, you're going to become a man or you're going to die trying. And if you don't want to die trying, then what's the sense of you even being here? But because you're a man, you're going to get better. Just know I believe in you, and the universe believes in you, and everybody around you. If you believe in God, God believes in you. Okay? So remember, accountability is the first thing you need in 2022 to become a better man. The second thing you need in 2022 to become a better man is goals. You need goals. I talk every single week about goals. You need goals. You need somewhere, a direction you're going to, and then you need them because some people can see where you're going from your actions, and then they can align themselves with you, or they can push you to a group of individuals that might be moving in the same direction as you. So you need goals. You don't have to tell people your goals. I'm going to do an episode about that later on this week. You don't need to always tell people about your goals, but they need to see the actions. If they can see the actions of where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do, they can be like, oh yeah, that guy Devin, yeah, he's doing a podcast about to help men with their masculinity. So they can see the goals, they can hear the goals, they can feel the goals, they can feel the action in which I'm moving. And now they can find the people and they can find an audience for you. They can't find an audience for you if you don't have no goals and you're just sitting online and not posting anything in terms of trying to help anyone else, because we're all here to help each other. We're all here to give structure to each other, you know? So it's just up to you. If you don't want to set no goals and you don't want to be accountable to very 1 and 2 in terms of the things you're going to need in 2022, you're done, man. You're done as a man. You might as well forget it. You might as well start wearing dresses. And don't get me on the stuff if you identify as a woman and you all that other stuff. That's totally different. We're talking about the men that want to be men. The men that want to be feminine, I say go all in. If you want to identify as a woman and you're a man, go all in. What are you waiting for? It's your life. You only have one of them. Go all in. I support you. That might not mean nothing, but I support you. I support anyone's decision to do anything that they want to do that's not going to hurt someone else. I support it. It's 2021, about to be 2022. The reason why I have to say that is because people get all what's the name about sexuality and stuff like that. And I want to have an episode later on this year in 2022 that talks about sexuality and then talks about masculinity with sexuality, but that's another episode, but we'll keep going with it. All right, the third thing you need in terms of to become a man or die trying is you need to create something that will outlive you. In 2022, I want you as a man to focus on building something that's going to outlive you. Something that's going to be there after you for 50, 60, 70 years after you pass away, when you're 150, however, whatever age you pass away at. I want you to focus on that. See, the one great thing about America is filled with stories about men that built something that outlived them, that's on their second, third, fourth, fifth generation of kids within their family. So I would say it's up to you. I would say to have children. I would say for you to start a business. I would say for you to start a family trust. Those things can all outlive you. Family, business, family trust. That's something that you can really create that's going to outlive you. I would say if you can. You know what I'm saying? If you can. If you don't want to have kids, no doubt. I mean, I'm not judging you, but if you can, have kids, because your kids are going to outlive you, and you're building something that's great. You're building something based around your last name. I remember 19 Keys talking about how important that a man's last name was, and we done got away from that. Because all the businesses that we shop now, as far as like the Fortune 500 businesses, are all last names of some man that created something, or woman that created something. So those last names are going to outlive that particular person. So create something in 2022 that's going to outlive you, and it's going to be here for centuries. So it might be something as like this podcast. I'm creating this podcast. This podcast is going to outlive me. You could create like a something, hair care products, that's going to outlive you. You can create something about some beauty products for your face. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just create something in 2022. As a man, you have to be a creator. You just have to be. You have to create something of value. You can't just sit there and wait. The pandemic taught us it taught us a lot. The biggest thing it taught us in 2022, in 2021 and in 2020, is how much we need each other. We sitting around thinking that, the pandemic taught us to stay in the house and just stay in the house with one person, like say a person didn't have like a relationship with someone and they were single. No, you were more connected to the internet than any other time. So what the pandemic taught you was how much you need each other, how much you're going to really grind for someone else. What can you create that can help other people? You got to use your head. And then tell you to go out there and be more single and all that other stuff. All that stuff that society tells you to do, it's just a thing to keep you a slave, to hold you back. If you want to be a slave to society, go right ahead. But I'm looking for men that want to be men, that want to build something, that has a purpose, that's trying to do something with their life, that's trying to build something with their life, and they're trying to network with other people to build something. That's what it's about. All right. The fourth thing that I put down to become a man or die trying is never stop learning and never stop passing on information to each other. Learning is the cornerstone of what you do, because if you're constantly learning skills that can help propel you to the next level and that can help someone else. If you don't have any skills, you cannot pass down nothing, and you also can't create something that will outlive you. So you have to have something that's going to outlive you. If you want to create something that's going to outlive you, you need skills. No matter which way you look at it, you need skills. Skills are the cornerstone of everything we do. This country is ran off of people that have skills, and the people that don't have skills, they're slaves. They're slaves to it. So I don't know about you. I'm not trying to be a slave. I'm straight. I'm trying to create something that's going to outlive me. Hence this podcast. And, this podcast is important to me. Number 5, the fifth thing that you need is you need to build wealth in 2022. You need to get into crypto. You need to buy some stocks. You need to buy something that's going to be worthwhile for yourself. And it's going to be worthwhile for your family, your business, your family structure, your trust, all that. You have to build some type of wealth. Even if you only invest $1,200, which is $100 a month, all right, which is $50 every 2 weeks when you get paid. If you do $100 a month, all right, that's $1,200 more than what you did last year. Because maybe last year you were afraid to invest. Maybe last year you were afraid to buy crypto. Maybe last year you were afraid of NFTs. Maybe last year you were afraid of the S&P 500. Maybe last year you were afraid of investing any type of money into a small business or a website or going to pop-up shops or any of those things that probably could have helped you. In 2022, realize that you only have one life. So because you only have one life, you really have to go after it. You really have to build some wealth. And wealth, I'm going to say this, and this is probably going to get me in trouble, but I don't give a shit. Wealth is not the amount of money that you have in the bank. Wealth is the network of people that you have access to. That's what wealth is. It's not the money that you have in the bank. You can have $1 billion in a bank and you can lose it in a heartbeat. Wealth is the amount of people that you can network with, that you can leverage to bring something back to you, and you can also provide some type of service to them. So if you don't have a network of people that you can rely on, then focus on that in 2022 and build some type of wealth for yourself. Don't focus on the money, because the money will get you nowhere. The money will get you nowhere. What's going to get you somewhere is the network of people that you know that you can leverage. If you don't have that, you don't have wealth. And if you don't have wealth, then focus on building wealth. Because if I'm a millionaire, but I don't mess with nobody, I don't fuck with nobody, then that $1 million dies. That $1 million that I have in the bank, it dies with me. It just dies with me. Say if I don't have a family, your family is your network. That $1 million is gone. It's gone. Poof, gone. Bye. See ya. Wealth is the network of people that you have that you can leverage, that can help you build what you're trying to build. If you do not have wealth, go and focus on that in 2022. And don't spend any time wasting doing stupid shit, just going out to the bar, or just going out to networking events and not trying to meet people. You need to try to leverage those people. You need to try to bring them value so they can bring you value back. All right? So those are the 5 things that I wrote down that's going to help you become a man or die trying in 2022. Number 1, accountability. You need accountability. Number 2, you need goals. The third one is you need to create something that'll outlive you. You have to do it. You just have to do it. It's very, very important. Number 4, you need to always be focused on learning. Never stop learning. Learning is very, very important. We have to be passing on information onto each other. You just have to do it. Number 5, you need to be focused on building wealth. Remember, wealth is not the money that you have in the bank. Wealth is the network of people that you can have contact with, that you can bring them some type of value, and you can leverage that value to help build what you're trying to build. That's wealth. Notice, wealthy people are connected with other wealthy people. You never see a wealthy person talking to a poor person because they don't speak the same language. So realize that wealth is the network of people that you have, that you can leverage, and you can build some type of value with. If all the people that's in your circle is poor, then you have no wealth. Or if you're the only one with money, then you have no wealth. All right? So focus on those things in 2022. Have a great year. Happy New Year. Episode number 43, Mill Change Podcast. I love you guys. Much love, respect. Peace.